Throughout history, human beings have been robbed of sacred knowledge that could empower them physically, mentally, and spiritually. One of the most well-guarded and stolen secrets is the power of sexual energy. This primal force, often dismissed as mere physical pleasure, holds the key to vitality, creativity, and even spiritual awakening. Yet, society, religion, and modern culture have systematically suppressed, distorted, and exploited this energy, leaving people drained, addicted, and disconnected from their true potential. This video explains how sexual energy has been stolen from humanity, the mechanisms behind its exploitation, and how reclaiming it can lead to personal and collective liberation. Sexual energy is not just about sex. It is a life force that gives rise to creation, power, vision, and spiritual transformation. In ancient cultures, this energy was revered. It was seen as divine, a fuel for greatness, not just reproduction or pleasure. When retained, cultivated, and directed, sexual energy becomes mental clarity, physical vitality, spiritual depth, emotional stability, creative genius, warrior-like discipline. It's the raw potential from which a man can shape his destiny. But the modern world has corrupted this sacred force. It has turned the divine into the disposable, and through this perversion, the secret has been stolen. How they stole it. You were not born weak. You were made weak. The theft of your sexual energy began long before you became aware of it. From the moment you were exposed to pornography, to the times you were taught that getting off was just part of being a man, you were conditioned to see your seed as useless waste rather than sacred essence. Let's break down how they stole the secret from you. Pornography as a weapon. Porn isn't just entertainment. It is a weapon of mass distraction and destruction. It floods your brain with dopamine, trains you to expect pleasure without effort, and attaches your sexual energy from actual human connection or spiritual purpose. Every time you release the porn, you are handing over your most potent energy to an illusion. You are entering into a contract of energetic theft. Cultural normalization of ejaculation. From locker rooms to movies, ejaculation is made into a joke or a norm. Men are told that frequent release is healthy, necessary, and masculine. But ancient traditions, Taoism, Tantra, and even early Christian asceticism taught the opposite, that retaining your seed builds power. Modern culture encourages you to burn your oil before you've even built your fire. Over-sexualized media. Every advertisement, every social media scroll, every click, they use sexual imagery to hijack your attention. This overexposure desensitizes you and keeps your energy externally focused. You don't look within, you look for quick pleasure. You think you're making your own choices, but you're being guided, manipulated, and emptied subtly, persistently, and with your full consent. When your sexual energy is stolen, you lose far more than you realize. Masculine power. Real masculine energy is not loud, lustful, or reckless. It's deep, stable, potent. But a man who is constantly releasing cannot build this power. He becomes fragmented. He lacks the inner stillness that true kings possess. Creative force. Your sexual energy is your creative energy. It's the fire behind your art, your business, your mission. When it is drained on lust and fantasy, your ability to birth new realities dies. How many dreams have been killed because the energy meant to fuel them was released to a screen? Spiritual insight. Retention of sexual energy sharpens your spiritual perception. When this energy is stolen, you lose your ability to hear the whispered truth, to connect with higher purpose. You become numb, hollow, lost, direction, and discipline. Men on semen retention often speak of laser focus and inner drive. When you're leaking energy constantly, your ability to focus vanishes. Lust becomes your master. You chase shadows instead of building legacy. Why would the world want to keep men sexually weak? Because a man in full possession of his sexual energy is dangerous to systems of control, a threat to mediocrity, unshakable in conviction, capable of building empires, resistant to distraction and manipulation. A sexually potent man is not easily led. He leads. So, systems were built to ensure your power was buried. Pornography was made free and infinite. Masculine values were mocked and shamed. Sexual sacredness was replaced with hyperstimulation. Lust was normalized. Discipline was ridiculed. They don't want you to remember the secret, because when you do, you unplug from the matrix. The good news? You can take it back. Yes, the secret was stolen, but it is not lost forever. You can reclaim your sexual energy and reawaken your inner fire. Here's how. Cut off the thieves. You must get radical. Porn must go. Sexual overstimulation through social media, music, and casual lust must be cut off. This is a detox of the soul. Retain and redirect. Start retaining your seed, not for ego, not to count days, but to build inner power. Use that energy. Transmute it. Create. Work. Train. Pray. Serve. Let the fire rise within you, not explode out of you. Relearn sacred sexuality. Study ancient teachings, Taoism, Tantra, early mysticism. Learn that your sexual energy was meant to be consecrated, not corrupted. Rediscover its purpose as a bridge between the physical and the divine. Practice celibate discipline temporarily, even if you're married or in a relationship. Take time for intentional celibacy, not as denial, but as devotion. This will realign your spirit and help you master your drive, not be mastered by it. Guard your eyes and mind. You are only as strong as what you allow in. Your eyes are gates. Protect them. A lustful gaze leads to a distracted heart. Reclaim control over what enters your mind. As you take back your sexual energy, you'll begin to feel something you may not have felt in years, or ever. You'll feel yourself, not the version that's been drained by lust, shame, and confusion, but the original version, the man who was born with purpose, vision, fire. Here's what returns. Mental clarity. You think clearer, make sharper decisions, and see through lies. Physical strength. Your body becomes stronger, more resilient. Your workouts improve. Emotional stability. You are less reactive, more centered. Magnetic presence. Women sense your shift. You no longer chase, you attract. Spiritual connection. You begin to feel the presence of God, purpose, and peace. This is not just biology. This is transcendence. You don't just recover energy. You recover identity. A sacred man is not defined by how much sex he has. He is defined by how much power he holds and how wisely he stewards it. This man does not waste his energy on illusions, channels his fire into creation and mission, sees sex not as escape, but as union, uses discipline to unlock destiny, guards a seed like his life depends on it, because it does. He walks with a weight, a presence. He becomes the kind of man others respect, not because he demands it, but because he embodies it. The secret is this: your sexual energy is sacred, and they've done everything to make you forget that. Now it's time to remember. It's time to stop giving your power away. Stop trading divine essence for digital illusions. Stop believing the lie that your energy is meant to be drained. You were meant to build, lead, serve, and protect. You were meant to master your body and direct your fire toward purpose. You were meant to hold your seed not in fear, but in reverence. This is your sacred duty, not just to yourself, but to the generations after you. Your seed carries legacy. And when you stop letting the world steal it, you become dangerous again. Take it back. The secret stolen from you is now yours to reclaim. Your fire is your responsibility. Let the world burn with distraction. You build an altar within. Retain your energy. Reclaim your power. Reignite your destiny. Subscribe to this channel and share the video.